Well, good afternoon, everyone. And Mel is the producer of the show on the other side. She's just said in 3, 2, 1, it will be recorded and we are good to go. So we are recording this session because we will not be in next week, Tuesday. It's quite a lengthy session. So listen to it, pause, and come back and listen again. It's an hour. In this session, we'll discuss module 3, that will be the communication module. The one thing we'll discuss is customer service. As usual, when we are having these discussions, it's best for you to hear best practice and what has happened and what one has seen in the world. The advantage of things is I spent about 3 years doing customer service project management for one of the big oil companies here in South Africa. So I am very popular with petrol attendants and everybody else. So they develop a customer service based on, you can call it a mantra, or they develop the customer service based on a policy based on words that said whatever they do should be safe, whatever they do should be courageous, whatever they do, and they go on and on and on, and their thing was labeled score. And if you work for that company, you'd expect the E of score at the end is excellence. You expect it to be excellent. I love the way they used to do this and how we used to carry it through the organization and get everybody to get an understanding that you would have to behave in a certain way. If we just pick the two, that they have to be safe because they're an oil company that actually had a big oil spill at some time. So they had a big problem. So they had this safety issue, but they also excellence in that whatever they do to the best of their ability. So even if it's just to clean the bathrooms, their bathrooms should be clean. If the bathrooms are not clean, it becomes an issue. So they follow the mantra of excellence. If you're working in a law firm, though, what are we saying? How are you going to care for a customer? The thing about customer care in real essence is that it doesn't have to be fake. It has to be real. You have to be, the way I'm talking to you in classes, you can tell that I am so simply vulnerable and talk to you as if I'm really talking to somebody who works in our firm, and I am really talking to a friend, and I'm really talking to a person I care about and a person I need to succeed and make it big in the legal field. Albeit if you start as paralegal and finish as paralegal, be the best. If you start as paralegal, end up as an attorney, advocate, judge, be the best, but use this as a start. So that care, you can bottle it and start using it towards your clients. It is not a care that says we are over familiar with clients, but it is care that says the clients are la familia. It's your family. You have to feel and understand where they come from and feel and understand their issues, especially sometimes when they made a stupid mistake. Because you're working in a law firm, it's not always that a person who comes to you has made a noble thing. Just to bring you to, at least we didn't do the case, but it's something that you will remember if you live in Pretoria. Pretoria used to have dross in around Silver Lakes, and there was a guy who went in, he had drugs, raped a child in dross. What happens when they give you a case like that? How do you treat such a customer? And I've just given you the worst case scenario. The other popular thing will be Oscar Pistorius. If you were his client, by now we are all familiar with Berry Roo. How did he treat Oscar? You can tell that the approach, how you treat such a client, you don't treat the client any less. They're your client. Of course, there are clients that come into law firms, clients who are noble, the Nelson Mandelas of this world. If you were too lucky for him to be your client, and people who litigate on noble things, you are representing a mother who's claiming maintenance on an errand father who doesn't want to pay. Your actions are noble. What you guys are dealing with is noble things. But at times you will represent somebody sought or thought to be a murderer. How do you deal with it? And I'm talking to you as if you are the attorney, right? And that's always the approach that I take. It is important because what happens is you work in a law firm. The expectation by everyone who walks into a law firm is that everyone in that law firm is a legal practitioner to provide a legal solution. You cannot go through legal practice saddled with a duty to produce legal solutions with isolating yourself and say, well, I'm just a paralegal, and they are the lawyers and the lawyers must see to finish. But here's the thing. The person we see first in the law firm informs us on how is the culture and the conduct of that law firm. You've heard me talk about this passionately many a times. Culture and conduct of a person translates to culture and conduct of an entity. And this culture and conduct of an entity generally is what people buy if you are a law firm. So I'm going to take you through this so that we can work together. You see what I'm talking about. Well, learning outcome one, obtain feedback from customers in order to improve customer service in accordance with organizational procedures. Begs the question, what is a customer? If we think of a person who spends money is a customer, there's one thing we miss though. There are people who come into a law firm who don't really spend money. How about pro bono cases? They don't spend money. But how about people who are just asking and then they pass by and say, sorry, we can't afford your fees, Mr. Pala. How about any other plan? You send them to legal aid or something else. They're still a customer. Thinking of some customer we did a case for some years ago, and she's sitting to get that order enforced, and that order is not being enforced. She's struggling, and she's gone to another law firm, legal aid. It's really struggling to get this thing done. What do you do then when this customer keeps calling you? It's about time you call the colleagues and say, colleague, are you not going to help this person? Or if possible, can I help you to help the person? Then you say, really? So that other law firm can even make money and you don't? Practicalities of this situation I'm facing, yes, we might end up there. But why am I telling you this case, which is so real? It's so that you get it. If you don't get that law is real life, it's not documents, it's not courts, it's not fancy suits, it is real life. It's mom, is dad, is sister, is brother, it's people. And these people, money or no money, when they look at you, they look at a solution. So these customers could be the customers who walk into a company, they're your current customers, and you will have them on retainer. Like we said in the morning session of today, that there's a customer comes and say, Mr. Pala, how about we go and grab breakfast? He's your regular customer. That's your retainer customer. But there are those customers who may also be potential customers. It is very expensive to win a customer than to lose one. If you're going to get a customer to walk into a law firm, believe you, work with you, take time with you, and you don't treat that customer right, you will lose that customer. We've got a principle in our firm that says we only take a customer if we can serve that customer. You have seen this principle. It's in the code of conduct for attorneys. Same principle. When people come as potential customers, are we serving them right? That's the question you need to ask yourself. It is a common adage in customer service discussions. It says, one, a customer is the most important person in the business. When a customer walks into a firm, they're the most important person in the business, no matter what. Even the customer, again, on pro bono, they are the most important customer. The customer does not depend on you. You are dependent on the customer. You'd have a situation where somebody says to you as a customer, well, I'm trying to help you. No, that's not how. You're missing the point. For me talking to you to render a service to me, I'm helping your firm to help me. It's not the other way around. Therefore, they are not the interruptions of your work. You're not doing them a favor. They are part of the business. They are not just a number. They're not just any other person who's doing road accident fund. They deserve the highest respect. They need you to assist them attentively because they're the lifeblood of the business. Without them, we don't have a business. So it makes very good business sense to make sure that we do everything in our power to keep the customers and make sure that these customers are happy, not once, but at all times. Do not argue with customers. If there's an argument, walk away. There's a general saying that says a customer is always right, but the customer may not always be correct, but they are right. You need to calm down and be the bigger person and deal with the issue and not try to compete with the customer. It therefore means when you work in customer related space, especially in service businesses, you need to let go of your ego and understand that you are the servant. You wash people's feet. Your feet don't get washed at times. So adopt a servant mentality. That is why we had a discussion the other day in the morning. Yes, you can tell I had this discussion with Star, and we say, coffee? And Star says, yes, I'm going to make you a cup of coffee. Then we say, okay, did you know that there is a saying that says the art of making tea? He says, no, what is that? Well, the art of making tea is a music album. It's a jazz album. It's by a guy called Michael Franks. For about 5 to 10 years, I think a good 10 years, I listened. The first time I encountered the album was actually on a cassette. If you don't know what a cassette is, I was over strong prior. And next time, then it was on a CD. And I was at Soshanguve TNT. Now, if you know TNT, there's nothing calm about TNT. It was very active space. Well, the gentleman introduced it to a group of us. You can imagine teenagers hanging out at the Technicon, crazy beings. And this guy says, Buffet, let me play for you Monkey See, Monkey Do. We say, hey, well, what's that? Says, it's a song from the art of making tea. He felt that the ones went, hey, what do you mean? So he played that Monkey See, Monkey Do. What stuck in my brain is people follow your actions. How you treat people, that's how they will treat you. If you treat customers well, customers will also treat you well. It's Monkey see, monkey do. Points to remember. Bad news travel fast. If you treat customers bad, the bad news will travel very fast. The vast majority of customers who receive bad service will not complain to you. In South Africa, you know this. People tend to walk away. They will, however, tell other people what they have seen, what they've heard, and what has happened. And as a result, you lose a client. Here are some statistics for you. And if you were born before democracy, you'd find it at the back of a Chappies wrapper. Do they still do it? At the back of the Chappies wrapper, they write, "Did you know?" So the statistics will go, "Did you know?" 96% of dissatisfied customers do not go back and complain. But they will do 7 other people, they'll go and tell other 7 people how bad you are. 13% will tell at least 20 people, and 9% will never return. Sometime when studying marketing, there was a course or a module called sales, personal sales. In that module, in one of the chapters, they would draw a circle. So imagine a circle, and they would put 2 buttons as if the buttons of a jacket, and they will draw something that looks like a suit throwing outside. So you'll see like a man with a big stomach wearing a suit with 2 buttons on the outside. And they say, think of those 2 things as 2 eyes. And remember, your customer today will see another person belly to belly, which means they'll see the person face to face. The truth is, they will not see only one person. They'll see 10 people or more belly to belly. But the 10 people they see will do the same. They'll go and see the other 10 people belly to belly. Then customer service spreads 10 times 10, 100 people know that you are bad. Today, in the advent of Twitter, which is suddenly X, I can't catch up. People would go on Twitter and use pressure groups to influence. In South Africa, for example, you know that people would use a pressure group called Black Twitter. They've done it to cliques, they've done it to other organizations where they'll say, yeah, you discriminate against the black hair and all of this. The next thing you know, it's just a storm and you cannot come back from it. And I remember saying to a friend, the friend was saying, but how do you get out of this? My answer was, you don't. You ride the storm. If somebody walks in and say, I feel discriminated right now, you are not treating me properly, your answer cannot be, no, this is not about race. I've got black friends. That's too late. Just saying that already, you lost the match. It's a red card. So at that point, you're good apologizing and walking away. It doesn't only work in different race group, at times within similar race groups. So make sure that you treat all people of all races, of all color, of all shapes, of all heights, especially the tall ones like me, treat them right. So we deserve to be treated right in this world. So when people walk into a law firm, they need to get good treatment. Well, you'll take time and pause the video, go get yourself a cup of tea. You know, I wouldn't want you to be tortured to listen to me for hours and hours. But while you're going to get yourself a cup of tea, think about this. What do you think of customer service? How is customer service being implemented in your own law firm where you are? What are the things that you have done to make sure that there is better customer service? Because when you come back with that cup of tea, I'm going to tell you about a king. I'll pause for a second to allow you to pause and space for you to come back and continue from here. Okay, I think we paused the video enough for you to now actually scroll between the two sessions and hear me out. So here we are. So I'll tell you about the king. They say that customer is king. If you have got no clue of what I'm talking about, for fun, take your time and go online and Google Joshua Door and look at the logo. Those of you who still have got the Joshua Door sofas, I don't know if they survived that long, but hey, maybe they survived. You remember the slogan, you've got the uncle in the furniture business, Joshua Door, old school people. Now, what happens with the uncle in the furniture business? He makes you understand that you are family. You want a bed, talk to your uncle. You want a fridge, talk to your uncle. I see the stories of money, but first, talk to your uncle. That is what we are saying. Customer is king. When the customer comes into the business, they must be treated with utmost respect. I don't know about you, but we spend a lot of time and effort buying sugar, buying coffee. And now I've told you that we actually teach people how to make tea in our firm. Is the art of making tea. If you make the right type of coffee, people would have conversations. I don't know why, but I've seen my mom and her friends do this long time ago in the village, and they still even do it today in Juku Lane. When they have a big conversation to do, that happens over a cup of tea. It works every time. If that works with mom, I think you should duplicate it and make it work in your office. Do you guys offer customers tea in your firm? If not, my friend, go buy a tea set. If you think it's expensive, go buy one at Pep Store. They have tea sets there with a white teapot, white saucers, cups. Buy a tea set. When a customer walks in, make them a cup of tea. In more ways than one, when some walk in, you offer a cup of tea, they'll say to you, "No, I'm fine, thank you." Then you don't have to make those cups of tea. We have got the fortunate, unfortunate situation where next door is actually a coffee spot. So we can then simply say to the customer, cappuccino, latte, and the customer will say, "I'm fine, thank you." We go like, phew. But if the customer says, "I'm fine," then we know we are about to go and swipe something and buy the customer a cup of latte, cappuccino, coffee. We make it a point to go and buy bottled water. And we make it a point to put it in the fridge. It's just about the right temperature so that when the customers walk in, they get bottled water. We make it a point that when a customer walks in, before they walk into a boardroom, the boardroom is neat, is clean, comfy. And we make it a point if they are using one of our offices before they walk into the office, we clean the office. We even empty the dustbin and make sure that It's nice, smells well, the windows are open, the customer feels comfortable. Because at times when customers walk in, they are stressed. They've got problems. All they want is somebody wie gaan luister. If you are not going to listen, the customer has wasted a trip. But there's a thing about listening. If you're going to listen in English, listening in English is not that very strong, you know. Listening should be done in Afrikaans, I think. This is how it's done. Jy gaan luister en jy gaan luister mooi. So you're going to listen and you're going to listen very well. You see, English is a complicated language. They will say attentively. What's that? Attentively. It's complicated language. But the reality is, you are going to feel what the customer feels and hear what the customer hears. You will assist that customer. Even if we lose the case, and the customer walks out of court and say, yes, Mr. Pala, we lost. I'm telling you now. Yes. But they felt us in that case. So your customer at times will not win every case, but your customer will go to court and have their version on the table. At times, it's not even winning in court. At times, it's negotiations. At times, it's you calming the customer down. At times, it's you making the customer behave. The customer's about to take a transaction that will be detrimental to that customer. If you're like us, you deal with corporate clients, you say, no, sir. If you are going to do this, you might as well sell my house. You hope that that customer won't take you up on your offer and sell their house. But say, this is as bad as selling my house. Then the customer gets it. This is serious. So you talk to a customer because they are important. You can see the care we take to look after a customer. Don't be so busy minding your business that you forget about the customer. For you to have a good business, you must have a good relationship with your customer. There's a friend I have from Egypt. He is, well, he's also a client. He owns big ships, like these container ships. Their family have been in that business for about 50 years now. Now, when you talk to this guy, he is so down to earth. You walk into his house, he makes you coffee himself. He is so simple, but this is a multi-millionaire guy. When he writes an email, he ends the email with, thank you for your cooperation. Every time, even if it's an email about a complaint, at the bottom he writes, thank you for your cooperation. I always try to learn from Mohammed how to talk to people like that. Find people like that in your culture. If your culture doesn't have, find the cultures that have. I found cultures that have. The Indian culture has that. You walk into the shops, the way they treat their customers, the way they deal with their people. I used to have an Indian doctor who was our family doctor for years, and I now left. I don't live there. But this is a very strange thing. We're still friends even now with that doctor. I walk in, he still pulls a chair and asks, how are the children? How are you? Takes our time and we talk. It is something you learn. Different cultures have got certain different things that they have about them. I told you I prefer being an international person where I learn from every culture. Find cultures with a certain spirit, behavior, temperament, learn from them and pick those traits and make them your personal traits as if you belong to that culture. Customer relations is very, very important. From racial groups, think people like hairdressers. It's a very personal relationship. I don't know what is the relationship between you and the hairdresser. My barber and I have got a very good relationship because that's where you talk to a person who listens to your troubles. So you need to have that relationship with people. So find different people in community who have that skill. Visit them, sit with them, let them mentor you, learn to take care of another, be a brother's keeper. If you find people who have got these skills, they'll teach you these skills. Well, I know your response on how you deal with these things are very important. I know I'm saying that at times when you deal with law firms like ours, we come across as very expensive law firms. I know this. But because I'm aware of it, when a customer walks in and they could be outside our price bracket, but they could not afford legal aid and all of those, you are left and you are an expert into what this customer has to do. At that point, what do you do? Do you insist on your high prices, which are corporate prices, or do you become competitive pricing and assist that person to afford quality legal services at the price range they can afford? And after you help them, do you treat them well? Do you follow them up and say, hi, are you good for coffee sometime? As we do with the corporate clients. You have to. Every client we take care of, we treat them as if it's the most important client we ever had. We treat those ones who pay a lot of money the same as those ones who even never pay money. Why? Human relations influence customer relations. Understand your client's personal needs and advise them with the best legal options to their problems. There are times where your client does not have to spend money. Look, we are lawyers. We make money when a client has got a problem and the client is causing a problem. In my space of work, the clients I have is corporate clients, 80% very rich clients, your high-end market people. Here's the problem about the rich people, though. Let's care about them while they are not in the room here. It's me and you almost here. They are not here. If they are here, they must go out of the room. Almost no scanner, no. These clients who are rich, they tend to cause problems. They go out of their way to cause problems sometimes. And then they call, Mr. Pala, it's alarm. Ish, I know this problem, Lodi. When they say that, I sit down. Two things will happen. What they're about to do is very sensible and it will make me a lot of money. Or what they're about to do is nonsense and it will still make me a lot of money. At that point, you make a decision. Do you proceed with the nonsense and make a lot of money now? Remember, if you were in the morning class, the story of 5 rands and 1 rand. Do you go ahead and take the 5 rands? No. You say, with all due respect, client, I know you want to pay me 500,000 for this. But my dear good client, this is not a winnable case. This is you being emotional. They might vent and be angry and everything, but a few days later, they come back and say, well, you were right, you saved us money. That's what you want to add value to clients. And as paralegals, you're going to be found in that space that at times you need to calm clients down and add value. You have to be accessible. Our clients are able to contact us 24 hours a day. Credibility. Our clients know that you are a stand-up guy. Even if you mess up, but you are still a good guy. Build that credit with people and clients. Our clients, they hold us in high esteem. And I'm putting you too, your clients and my clients, our clients should hold us in good esteem. Our clients know that when they've got a problem, we'll respond to the problem. Our clients know that we'll communicate, we are reliable, we build good relationships. So learn to communicate with clients with direct and indirect interactive dialogue. We had clients some time ago when we go to court and you say to the client, come to, and worse, it was a criminal case, come to court to do consultation with us. The guy says, I'll be there, but it never shows up. And the person goes to court. You know what they do? Every time you cross-examine, they raise a hand. Yeah. You must ask them this. You must ask them this. It doesn't work. They interrupt the flow of an attorney. The judge will be irritated. The attorney will be irritated. Man, even the stenographer will be irritated. So we say to clients, come and see us. Let's talk about your case. Let's do a mock trial. If you're going to be angry in our office. So we do a mock trial with them. They get angry in our office. But then when we go to court, they know what to expect. If they're going to lose, prep them on time and say, we are losing this, brah. And when we arrive there, you should know that the judgment might be bad and the client will understand this and they behave differently. One of the things is nonverbal communication. If you're used to your client, you can read their face. If you say something which they don't like, you can, even if they agree, they tend to smile. You can read from their face that no, they don't agree. That way, correct yourself, change tune, apologize if you have to, change direction, and deal with the client in a different manner. It's important. Well, Mel has just provided customer care here. She brought us water to drink. Even Mr. Malimani got one. So he's sipping away. I'm also sipping away. Before we do something else, we'll also give you a chance to run to the fridge, find something to sip away. Make sure that it's water, it's not bitter, and make sure that it's not something that the advocates will usually drink after hours. Okay, you back. Customer care policy versus customer service. For the next 10 minutes, before we close the session, we are going to say customer care policy versus customer service is that you must care for your customers. That's the service you render. That is the washing of the feet I'm talking about. The carrying of the briefcase I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know if this happened with you, but this happened with me, and this we practice in our firm. And if you were to come and work with us, this will practice with you. One, we will teach you how to make coffee, or at least how to make tea. Two, we'll teach you how to staple papers properly. You see, this is frustrating, right? We'll send you to the shop to go and buy things. You say, really? But I'm supposed to be Paralegal, when you are doing making me do all these silly things. Yeah. If you cannot learn to serve your colleagues and people in your environment, how do you serve outsiders? Charity begins at home. The servanthood spirit must develop right from home. Ladies and gentlemen. So let's pack ladies one side. Let's go with gentlemen. Gentlemen, learn the art of washing dishes. You say, here? Yes. Okay, fine. If the dishwasher is in place, that helps. But if there's no dishwasher, even if the dishwasher is there, try it sometime. Wash dishes. One, it humbles you to say you're an ordinary member of the family. But two, it clears your brain. You start paying attention to silly things like you don't wash plates before you wash glasses. So the art of washing dishes, it's very important. Learn how to do it. Back to everybody else. There is a book, Everybody Else. And besides the book, you can also, you know me, I'll always say go find YouTube. You can go to YouTube and find this thing. It's called Make Your Bed. Learn the art of making up your bed every morning. The guy who presents this is an army general, and he shows you why making up your bed in the army produces a certain level of discipline and behavior. Actually, it makes your day start better every day. So what do you do? Okay, hey, don't volunteer. Don't write on the chat group, ne? And don't open the microphone. Yo, don't volunteer. Did you make your bed this morning? Don't say yes, no, leave it. Hey, my thought. But if you didn't make your bed this morning, a whole lot of things will go wrong. Learn to make your bed. It's same as a principle called swallow the frog. Do difficult things first. If you can handle difficult things, you can handle easy things. If you can handle difficult customers, you can handle nice customers. Why are you so irritated when the customer is not nice? If they are rude, who else do you want them to be rude to, if not you? Learn to handle difficult customers, and that is customer service. Let's move right along. Customer policy. Customer policy should follow like SCORE. The service must be of quality. If you sit around me, you'll hear me say, I don't care what you have done. Make sure that it's the right quality things. It follows what Star will tell you that we will always say, I don't care what happened. Don't make your problems my problem. You'll hear those a lot if you come to our law firm. What we believe is this. The moment it lands on your lap, it's your problem. You cannot walk and say, well, it was so and so who was supposed to do it. It was Mr. Quinda who was supposed to take the things and put them there. I really don't care. If it's with you, it's yours. If there's a problem, fix it. If a customer complains, you are the one who did it wrong. Make sure that you offer quality service at all times. This is important. Do not pass the buck. Take responsibility. Then you grow as a person. Be friendly, because there's questions like whether staff friendly. Be friendly. Be friendly means don't be arrogant. Don't be rude. Just be friendly. Did the staff know the products? If you don't know what the client is talking about, ask a lawyer who deals in that field of law. They'll tell you, and you'll be able to assist the client. Well, yesterday, I assisted one client at the reception, walked in, and he says, Mr. Pala, come here, come here. I'm talking to somebody on the phone. I said, okay, fine. What's going on? He says, well, I'm telling this client that they should have contacted you to solve their contractual problem. So this guy is now putting me on the spot as if I'm this best contract lawyer in the world. So he takes the phone and he gives to me. Then I take the phone, say to the client, what's going on? The other person tells the problem. Say, well, you got two solutions on the left and on the right. As you know me, that's what I would have said. Solution on the left, solution on the right. This is what you could do. If you really want to get this implemented, come contact us. Once I give back the phone to the client who was at the reception, he says to his friend, you see, when I speak in life, I must be listened to. When I said, Mr. Bala, I will solve your problem. See now. So what we are talking about is you should know your stuff. Know what you're talking about. To me, it was not a complicated discussion. It's normal. But your clients should be able to pride themselves in saying that law firm, they know what they're talking about. Take your time and serve a customer. Time in law firms is not an 8 to 4 type of situation. I see young lawyers, paralegals, and everybody, they come to the office late, né? Like 9:30, 9 o'clock. They do it as they drag it along as it allows. 10 past, 2 past. But when it's 4 o'clock, my friends, hey, let's scanner them a bit. For some reason, all of a sudden, they found out the correct time in the world. Everybody's gone, runs away out of office. But law firms don't work like that. Law firms have got this problem. They are too early and they are too late. Learn this principle. Law firms are too early, too late. So you arrive 30 minutes before 8. You don't arrive 8 o'clock. If you arrive 8 o'clock, you are late. That is why we say when you go to court starts 9 o'clock. But what time must you be in court? 8 o'clock. It's important. You settle down, make your coffee, and do your things. The moment you're supposed to start work 8 o'clock and you now make tea 8 o'clock, you start drinking your tea 8 o'clock, you're spending 15 minutes of company time you shouldn't be spending. You should have drank that tea 7:30. So those are the things you need to learn. When you go home again, same principle applies. It's not too early now. It's too late because you might be drafting. There might be other things that you are doing too late. But law firms, they've got another time. It's called the on-time time. What is the on-time time? On time means don't be late to file anything you're supposed to file. If something's supposed to be filed on Monday, file it on Monday. Don't wait. If possible, file it on Friday. Do not do last minute things in law firms. Law firms are service business. They're very flexible. Some days we really don't do anything, So we all pack our bags and go too early. Why? Because it's a humanitarian business. So it will serve the both sides of the spectrum. Was the outlet clean? There's a proverb, cleanliness is next to godliness. As we are closing this discussion in the next 5 minutes. Guys, be clean, eh? Be clean yourself. Go to the salon, cut your hair, plait your hair, whatever you do. You don't need an expensive weave. We have already said in class, right? It's not necessary. Just look clean and neat. You don't need an expensive hairstyle like, okay, fine, I want my shit. And that looks The person used an expensive computer to close their expensive, their expensive star. It looks nice. That's too expensive for me. But if you can afford an expensive one, go. What a star? What do those people go to? What is it called? Yeah, legends, Baba. So you can afford legends like other people we know. Go to legends. But if you can't, just find that guy 20 reds. He will do the job, but I don't think he doesn't. I think he doesn't have the other chemical. He will do the job. And your hairstyle will also look proper. Clothes, don't wear too expensive clothes. Find if a shirt is more than 500 rands, guys, I don't know about ladies, I can't speak for you, I'm not sure. But guys, if a white shirt is more than 500 rands, that white shirt is way too expensive. Find shirts that you can wear and you never think about it. Find simple pens, polish your shoes. These are basic things, eh? Don't wear sneakers at work. It's untidy. Wear shoes that must be polished and they look clean. Be clean. Lastly, any other issue that the customer wishes to raise, you need to listen to that issue. And like we say, every firm has a personal touch. You can tell that our law firm is a happy firm. So when people walk in, they must find that personal touch of your law firm. We are nice even to the opponents to an extent that we once sometimes say to ourselves, hey, call the opponents and remember, don't be too nice because we are about to sue them. Why? Because we are nice people in our firm. When we talk nicely. We don't talk very scary. So that personality must always carry through. Be yourselves, operate the way you guys operate. But bottom line, be kind to people. People will be kind to your bank account. Thank you very much. See you next time. Hope we sorted, and we'll give Mel a few time to finalize the recording, and Star will call her now. That will be that. Thank you very much.